The game is made for last gen and this gen consoles, and so I think you're going to see it once again, the graphics of this game suffer. And I feel like you're starting to notice how dated From Software's engine is getting in Armored Core 6. I mean, they are falling further and further behind the industry by using this antiquated engine, and I wonder at what point are people going to quit forgiving it.
What's up, everybody? In today's video, I wanted to talk about a segment of Fextralife's video on Armored Core where he has critiques about Armored Core's graphical fidelity and how it looks in general. Huge disclaimer, I'm not taking a jab at Fextralife. His channel is awesome, and especially the website he runs is a huge database for anything Souls related. He's a massive asset to the community, so I am not calling him out in any way. I just wanted to use his statement to start a productive conversation centered around From Software's and Armored Core's graphics, because I think that a lot of people have misconceptions when it comes to graphical fidelity and the engine that From Software uses. So first, let's take a look at his statement.
And lastly, I want to talk a bit about the graphics of the game. This is kind of a sore point for me. The graphics of this game are serviceable, no doubt, but the game is made for last gen and this gen consoles, and so I think you're going to see it once again, the graphics of this game suffer, kind of the way Elden Ring's graphics suffered. Obviously, no one cares about the graphics of Elden Ring, right? Like, the game is good, it's phenomenal. Graphics are not the most important thing for Elden Ring, but I kind of feel like in a mech game, graphics are a little more important. Like, you want the combat to be as flashy as possible, as visually as appealing as possible.
So here I definitely disagree. First of all, the graphics of Armored Core, in my opinion, are perfectly fine. It is flashy. There's a lot going on screen. The explosions look good. But I would think that the graphics would be more important with Elden Ring than Armored Core, because in Elden Ring, you can truly take your time to appreciate the scenery. You can walk slowly and look at every little detail in the lands between, and it is detailed. In my opinion, Elden Ring looks phenomenal, whereas in Armored Core, everything is extremely fast-paced, so you don't have time to take a look at every single little detail on every rock, on every tree, and so on.
And I feel like you're starting to notice how dated From Software's engine is getting in Armored Core 6. I mean, gameplay-wise, the game ran smooth. I was up above 60 FPS the whole time. There were no bugs, there were no glitches, there were no crashes. Everything ran great. And we've come to expect this from Software. They typically don't have these issues in their games at launch, so that's really good news. But I do wonder, at what point are they going to make the leap to a new engine like Unreal 5? I mean, they are falling further and further behind the industry by using this antiquated engine. And I wonder at what point are people going to quit forgiving it?
So now let's talk about the engine, and this is where it gets very interesting. From Software has been using their own proprietary engine for the last 10 years. It's something that only them use, and they're very used to it. Now, what if they were to switch to a more powerful engine like Unreal Engine 5, like Fextralife suggested? Several things could happen. First of all, massive delays. When developers switch to a new engine, there will be a time period where they are not actively developing the game, but learning the new engine. So that would be a huge delay in From Software's plans to start delivering games more consistently. And second of all, I want to take a look at how much manpower it takes to create a game with lifelike, realistic graphics. When I think of games with high graphical fidelity, the first names that come up to mind is maybe The Last of Us Part 2 or Red Dead Redemption 2, but these games were created with huge teams. Let's take a look at the stats for The Last of Us Part 2. Approximately 2,100 people developed The Last of Us Part 2 over more than 5 years, led by the 350-person team at Naughty Dog. So this game took a while to build, and they had a massive team. So keep in mind that From Software has 300 developers available, and they are working on 3 games simultaneously. So we're talking about a team that is much smaller, and if they had to really take time and focus on the graphics, they would have to put their foolish ambitions to rest of releasing more games in a more consistent basis. We have been very lucky with the rate at which these games come out. We got Sekiro in 2019, then COVID happened, which slowed down things a little bit, but we got Elden Ring in 2022. and under a year later, we're getting Armored Core 6 in 2023. So that is 3 games in 5 years. For that same period, a larger studio, Naughty Dog, only produced 1 game. So clearly we are way better off with the From Software method. But one thing I will agree with Fextralife, he made a very good point, is that this is a cross-gen game. It's about time that From Software ditches the old gen, and I understand that the development of Armored Core started quite a while ago, so it wasn't possible with this game. But I really hope that From Software's next game, Spellbound or whatever comes next, will be current gen exclusives. Now there's one thing I wanted to talk about. I have some news regarding Armored Core that we'll talk about at the end of the video, but I wanted to talk about the graphics. Are they really that bad? Because to me, the graphics in Armored Core 6 look perfectly fine, so let's compare them to other games real quick. So these are just a few screenshots I took from the gameplay footage provided by Vadi, and you can see that to me it looks fine. Obviously it's going to look better when it's in action since these are static. But if you compare them to, let's say, Halo Infinite, which is a game that was developed by over 500 people, I don't see a big difference. To me, they both look fine, nothing spectacular, but it serves the purpose. And if you really put them side by side, like I said, there's not that much of a difference. If you ask me personally, I think that Armored Core 6 looks a lot better, but that's because of art direction. Art direction will always be more important than graphical fidelity. You can have the best looking game with realistic looking environments, but if the art direction is bad, it's just going to be soulless. So before we wrap up the video, I just wanted to share a couple things that emerged regarding Armored Core 6. First of all is the title screen, and it looks awesome. Here it is. That was really awesome. I wonder if the soundtrack is going to pick up in intensity after some time, or is it going to be mellow the entire time that you are on the homepage. Now, there is another piece of news that happened. There is this Japanese YouTuber that uploaded a part of Armored Core he wasn't supposed to show. This was a mission that was not to be shown to the public. And we can confirm that you can break the hard lock if you move in a certain way. Now it's very evident in the video, but I don't want to show it here because once again that footage was not meant for the public. And also it is confirmed that the PvP arena will have no repair kits, and I think that's fantastic. It will be like the traditional Armored Core PvP, so it's probably better to leave it that way. Now, one last thing is that Vadi said that it is unclear whether switching from soft lock to hard lock will reduce your accuracy. Has been claimed by Ouroboros that that was the case, but at the moment it's still undetermined. I think it would make sense if you move into hard lock that you have a penalty that your accuracy will be diminished, but yet again, we don't know for sure. So that's it for the video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please let me know your thoughts and opinion in the comment section, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. That way you never miss another video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.